folks, Melissa Ruther here from the Wisconsin K-12 Energy Education Program. Thank you for joining us at the beautiful Boston School Forest on this awesome chilly day. Today, we're going to be exploring another energy outdoors topic, shadows.
Before we can get started, I would like to recognize that Boston School Forest occupies lands of the First Nations. With a passion for connecting people to their natural and cultural resources, I would like for us to take a moment and appreciate the land I'm on here at Boston School Forest, but also the land on which you live, and celebrate and honor the original people who stewarded this land for generations. Thank you. Have you ever made shadow puppets with your hands? Your fingers block light from reaching a background surface, and it creates a dark shape or a shadow, opposite of where the light comes from, just like the shape seen here.
The sun is a large source of light that casts shadows as well. You can watch your shadow change as the sun appears lower or higher in the sky. Let's follow the journey of our shadow throughout an entire day. We're going to need a few things before we can do this activity. First, you're going to need a sunny day. Today is a little bit cloudy, but as long as you can see your shadow, that's really what we need. You need a sunny day. Then you need an open area, a nice space that you can return to over and over throughout the day. Whether it's an open field, maybe it's a sidewalk area near your house, find an open space that doesn't have any trees or big buildings blocking the sun's light from creating shadows. Then grab yourself some rope or some chalk or a phone or a camera to take photos throughout the day, and make sure it's something you can leave out. So chalk on the sidewalk, rope on the ground, or just take a picture. Last but not least, you're going to need a partner. This person's going to be with you all throughout the day helping you. Please remember to stay a safe distance apart, wear masks, be careful while you're out there. Thanks, Jenny.
Yep.
You're going to be doing this 3 times today. We don't only just want to look at our shadow once, we want to see how it changes throughout the day. We want to do an experiment. So 3 times throughout the day, you are going to come out and sketch your shadow. And I'll tell you what that means here in a little bit. You want to come out in the morning, midday, and late afternoon.
Once you've gotten your supplies and you've chosen your spot, head on out. You and your partner are going to take your first measurement, your morning measurement, using your rope, your chalk, or your photo, your camera. So what you want to do, if you're using either of the 2 tracing tools, so whether it's your rope or your chalk, you want your partner, remember, choose your spot you're going to stand in all day. Okay, you're not going to stand there all day, but you're going to come back to the same spot like I am. Have your partner start at your feet and trace around, just like a drawing. Trace around your shadow. You can see here that the clouds kind of made it difficult for us. That's okay. I could still see my shadow, but if you run into this problem, you can always wait for the clouds to pass on over before you finish your first measurement. Or you can just wait for a time in the morning when it's completely cloud-free. You can even give your partner a try. If you have 2 different colors, maybe of chalk or of string or rope, go ahead and have your partner try as well. They can participate in the fun too, right? Here we go. Time for our afternoon shadow check-in. You and your partner head on out to that same spot you were at earlier. So remember, stand in the same location you were before. Your partner can start at your feet again, like they did before, and trace around your shadow, ending back at you. You can even take some time to compare your first 2 measurements if you want. And there you go, your afternoon check-in. Last measurement of the day, your evening check-in. You and your partner need to head back out to the same spot you were at before. Have your partner start at your feet again, trace around your shadow, and they'll end back at you. Once you're done tracing your shadow, it's time to compare. What do your morning, afternoon, and evening shadows look like? How have they changed throughout the day?
So we've spent an entire day tracing our shadows as the sun has moved across the sky. So how did our shadows change throughout the day? When were they the longest? Why did they change the way they did? As you can see here, these 3 different times showed very different shadows. So earlier in the morning, the sun was rising in the east. The sun was also much lower as it was rising, so it created a much longer shadow. Then, as the day moved on, our shadow got much shorter. It's because the sun was much higher in the sky. Think of putting a light up above an item and barely any shadow would show. That's kind of what's happening here. So the sun was rising, casting a much shorter shadow. Then, as the day moved on, it got longer and longer. Again, why was that? Well, now the sun is setting in the west. That's important because as it's getting lower, it's casting this longer shadow. So again, earlier in the morning, later in the day, when the sun is lower, there's longer shadows to be made. When the sun is higher, those shorter shadows will occur. Now that we've explored shadows, why does it matter where these shadows are going to fall? Well, there might be a few reasons. One of them maybe doesn't matter as much today, but on a day when it's really hot, we might want to find somewhere to go in the shade and sit. Right? Having that reprieve, or maybe the opposite, it's a cold day and you want to be in the sun. We don't want to be in the shadow. So there's that temperature part. But not only that, we can also use that sunlight, making sure we know where those shadows are going to fall, to place things like solar panels so we can make electricity, harnessing the power from the sun to do work for us. So today, we explored how shadows are made. We traced our shadow at various times to see how does it change? When does it do what? What patterns are we seeing? We found that when the sun is rising or setting, our shadows are the longest. And when the sun is high above us in the middle of the day, they're at their shortest point. We also got to see a little bit of why that's important. So thank you so much for joining us today at Boston School Forest. I hope now you have a great excuse to go and explore shadows in your area.